Megan Free.
Kristen Martin.
And we are talking today about how to regain the feeling of control as we all deal with.
Feel like we're losing a lot of control.
That's right. And we have a ton to learn from our divorce clients on this, because a lot of times people going through a divorce are in the situation where they feel out of control. Either it's the divorce is their spouse's idea, or the court schedule is slower than they want it to be. And so our most successful clients, the people that really thrive through and after divorce, are the ones that make the flip and start to see what they are in control of. And the main thing that people are in control of is how they react to things.
Right. Yeah, so often in life we aren't in control of the things that are happening to us, around us, out in the world, and that's true now more than ever. But what we are always in control of, what we have always been in control of before this and certainly during it, is how we react, how we behave while those things are happening around us. And we are always in control of our perception of those things that are happening around us, even really big, scary things like this that, feels like from minute to minute it changes. We are still in control of how we react. We are still in control of how we perceive it. And there's still a lot of opportunity all around us for people to rise to what is happening and to be better versions of themselves, and to ask others to be better versions of themselves. And I see a situation. My reality is that I think so many things are going to be better once we're on the other side of this. And we are going to get to the other side of this. And I'm not making light of how serious it is and how much there is at stake for so very many people. But there is so much opportunity everywhere to step up and to, whether it's to show leadership, whether it's to show compassion, whether it's to show kindness, whether to put down some things that seemed so important even last week that now just aren't. That's a better way to live anyway, never mind in the midst of what's happening now. There's a lot of opportunity to really be a positive force in your little circle, in your big circle, and the bigger circle beyond that. And I think that we just wanted to take a minute to talk about that and maybe offer for somebody watching this to think about that and make an effort to maybe change how they were feeling today, or how they were moving through this today, how they were reacting today, and what their perception feels like today, because you are in control of all of that.
One of the things I would encourage people to do is our brain immediately identifies problems or stressors, right? And really force yourself to go through the discipline of thinking about what you really have originally identified and flipping it into the positive, right? I think that one of the things that's helpful for people is to give really concrete examples of how you do it, right? So it's one thing to just say, you're in control of how you react to things. Mm-hmm. And it's another thing to give people the tool to make the flip in their own head, right? So what I do is I take, when I identify a problem, and I make the flip into how that problem is an opportunity, mm-hmm. right? So, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with my kids for the next 8 hours today is really, it sounds trite, but it isn't. We actually have 8 hours to fill with things that are way higher quality mm-hmm. than we normally do, right? They're actually, if you get solid and don't allow the distraction of constantly having the alerts go off on your phone or constantly having the news on, right? And you're watching productive videos or educational videos, you're really, if you can make that switch, you're really in a position to spend high quality time with kids. Mm-hmm. Like remember when positive time. Mm-hmm. So I think, but being disciplined in the time of stress is so critical.
Yeah, it really is. One of the best things that we can all do for ourselves and each other is to, and this is, we've been saying this to each other and to our close friends, is just turn off the television, turn off, like Megan said, turn off the alerts. It's so simple, and I know it's not easy to do, but if you just make that concerted effort to shut it off. If you can't do it all day, at least do it part of the day. I promise you that stuff is going to find you anyway. You're not going to be uninformed. You're still going to hear about it. You're still going to know what's going on. You're still going to know what you actually need to know. But there's so much that you don't need to just hear. And you might think it's not affecting you, but it is. It's affecting you at a cellular level how you feel during all of this when it's constantly coming at you, and it can start to feel truly hopeless. But it's not hopeless. I mean, the reality is we are going to get through this, and there's a lot that we can all do to get through this better and differently in terms of how long it's going to take. There's responsible behavior that we can all exhibit so that we can hopefully be on the other side of this sooner than we otherwise would. But there's also a lot we can do while we're doing that, so that we're not just white knuckled through it, so that we're actually like, where is the opportunity in this? Whether it's spending time differently with my kids, whether it's spending time differently with the people that you are, still interacting with, or using screens for good, people that you aren't able to physically see. But we have friends around the country that have set up like virtual happy hours where they're on screens, like multiple FaceTimes, and still like interacting as if they were in the same physical space. And maybe it's not a perfect substitute, but it's better than nothing. And it's in some ways it's connecting with people that you maybe you weren't going to see anyway, but just making an effort now to reach out. Like, if we're going to have a happy hour with screens, well, it doesn't just have to be the people that live in my city. It could be all over the country.
Or if you're someone who's feeling economic anxiety, right? Mm-hmm. One, oh my gosh, turn off the news, right? And don't watch the market all day. But after that, like once you clear that out so you can really focus, okay, what's giving you the anxiety? Is there an absence of leadership at your organization? Are you worried, you're worried about your job? Is this making you realize you really don't like your career? Mm-hmm. Well, on the other side of this, there are going to be other companies that thrive through this that you can go to work for. Yeah. There are going to be entrepreneurial opportunities that are happening right now. Right now, virtual tutoring. Right? There are all sorts of entrepreneurial opportunities, and as we come out of it, what's the business you always wanted to be?
Right. I think it's a good time to think about what's a need, what's a need out there that you can step into, and if there's something you have to offer to help, that's an opportunity. If there's an idea that you've been thinking about, that's an opportunity. Whether it's because it's more, it is an idea that even makes more sense now because of what's going on in the world, or that you simply have more time to work on it. There are opportunities everywhere, but whether or not we see them is a product of our perception. It's not a product of somebody else telling you about it. It's truly a product of how you perceive what is happening and how you choose to react to what's happening. And again, I know it's simple for me to say, and it's often not easy to do, but it is fundamentally true.
Right. So every time you identify a problem, flip it and figure out what the opportunity is.
And turn the television off.
And turn your TV off. And your alerts. I turned off the TV and I didn't turn off the alerts. That does not
turn off the whole show.
You have to turn off the whole show.